Well, kia ora, good morning, everybody. Welcome to NZME HQ for another special announcement on behalf of D&L Events. Another first of its kind in the boxing world here in New Zealand, when we have two women world champions, both New Zealanders, on the same card. So it's a pretty cool thing to look forward to, August the 26th at Eventfinda Stadium on the North Shore. As always, events like this don't go on without the strong support of our sponsors. Our thanks to Burger King, Te Whana o Waipareta, and the Manukau Urban Māori Authority. And of course, all of you here in the media who know how to do us justice, particularly when we have two world champions sitting up there, the IBO Super Bantamweight World Champion and Mea Motu, and Lani Daniels, the IBF Heavyweight World Champ, sitting there and getting ready to go to battle. I think it's always appropriate to ask the promoter, one half of the promoting team, Dean Lonergan, how these events come about and how excited he is about having a new kid on the block too. We'll talk about him in just a moment, coming forward. But two world champions on the same billing. Dino?
Really excited about this. This is something brand new in New Zealand boxing. We've never done this before. We've had two world champions actually heading up significant cards. It's going to be broadcast on Sky TV, and we expect to have a huge amount of media interest going forward. Obviously, women's sport is coming to the fore right now. Last year's Women's Rugby World Cup was incredible. The FIFA World Cup on right now, or about to start tomorrow, which is a big plus for New Zealand. Of course, we've got two homegrown world champions, and very, very excited about having these women on. They've both got two very, very tough fights, and they'll be entertaining as all heck. Just so you know, we think the fights are that tough. We've got rematch clauses in both their contracts. I don't think we're going to need them, but just in case you don't know. And really excited by the rise of these women, and we've got something very, very exciting down the front as well. And this is a rise of a combination. I think we're going through a golden era of New Zealand boxing. Down the front there, we've got Jerome Pampalone, who's also trained at a Peach Boxing Gym. Jerome's probably only one, maybe two fights away from world title. We expect if he wins this fight, and it's his first time he's taken on an unbeaten opponent, if he wins this fight, he'll be going to the world title after that. So that's quite incredible. The guy that he's trying to take on is a guy called Arthur Beterbiev, who's an all-time legend. He's about 38 years of age, had 19 fights and 19 knockouts, so he's something quite special. But Jerome's on a fast track to greatness, in our opinion. And down the front, you've got Zane Adams. Zane, I'm very, very excited about what he can do. Only last week down at the National Amateurs Tournament, he could only fight with one hand and still come away as a National Amateur Champion in his weight division. Zane is something very, very special in so much as he's a very lightweight. He's an absolute monster for the weight that he's at, and he knocks guys out. I'm not a big fan of of some of the lighter weight divisions, but and these two ladies, we've got amazing talent. But in Zane in particular, we've got some incredible talent because he knocks people out. So there's some exciting times ahead in New Zealand boxing. We've got other guys that are close to world titles as well. So come along for the journey, and this is going to be a celebration of New Zealand sport, I guess, over the next 2 to 3 months, and these women are going to head up a big part of that. And of course, our two boys down the front, there's something special as well. So looking forward to it.
Thank you, Dino. You probably got about 44 quotes out of all of that, which is always the good thing with Dino. Pass the microphone to Mea. Mea, first title defence. How is the training camp at this particular point in time?
It's going awesome. Yeah, it's going really hard.
Well, the real talking part of this is that you've picked up a nutritionist. How much of a difference has that made to this camp and your well-being going forward?
It's okay. Really, I've gone back to my own nutrition.
Really? What's your own nutrition?
Fruit and vegetables.
It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, because my body doesn't really do well with artificial stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but headspace though, first defence. What do you think about that when you go forward in the training camp?
Just think of winning a world title. That's it.
Just another one again, right?
Yeah. Only chasing all the belts, and that's the goal.
I'll ask Coach Peach down there. Where is she at the moment, Isaac?
Yeah, Mea's in the best space she's ever been. So Mea's in the best space she's ever been. She's fit as she's ever been. She's knocking out 10 rounds of sparring really well at the moment. So I think this is going to be her biggest performance.
From what we saw on the Fight for Life card, what have you worked on?
Probably the preparation for the Fight for Life card was so busy, and it was sort of making Mea a star, and she became a star real quick. Now it's solely about boxing for us and making Mea a superstar in boxing, which she will be. Yeah.
And that look in your eyes suggests no dramas here. Successful defence.
Oh, 100%, man. I'm so excited. She's going to knock her out, and it's going to be awesome.
You show a funny way of being excited, mate. I'll give you that one. Thanks, Phil. I'll talk to you in a moment. Lani, yep, heavyweight world champ. So your first title defence. How are you feeling about this going into it? And what are you working on towards a successful defence?
Kia ora everyone. First and foremost, I'm just grateful to be here. And yeah, just so excited. Like, it's with boxing in the past, I haven't really built a momentum in my boxing career. So it's a choice to be fighting back to back and getting in so soon. And I couldn't be more prepared and going into fight camp ready.
I love your preparation, the story about sleeping in, as John Conway says, your coach, his smelly old gym. But you've got 2 posters of Muhammad Ali. What's the significance of Ali to you?
He's a world champ. He's a world champ. So prior to lead up to becoming a world champion, I used to look at him and be like, yeah, that's going to be me one day, but a girl version. And yeah, I just saw it, but I might need to change that to myself now.
No, that's fair. You face your opponent's Razel Mohammed, another Mohammed. What do you know about her, and where do you think you can get her?
I don't know too much about her. She called me out last year sometime. She's a southpaw.
So that changes the way you have to approach things, right?
Approach things, but it doesn't change the result. I'm still quite confident that I'm there to do a job and I'll do it.
Another successful defence. All right, just pick up that microphone there. Mea Simwaka, the Tigress. Had a look at her this morning. She comes forward a lot. Have you seen much of her?
No, and I'm not worried.
Really, just that's where you stand.
That's where I stand.
Isaac, seriously, do you take a look at these opponents much to figure out where they have their weaknesses?
Yeah, I chose the opponent. It took me a while to get Dean over the line. I think she's a really good opponent. And that's what Mea needs, for Mea to grow, to get all the belts and to be a superstar and hopefully fight Amanda Serrano. That's our goal. And to get to that place and be ready, she needs fights like this. And this girl's a real challenge. But we'll win and we'll look good doing it. Yeah.
When will you not wear jandals into a ring?
I kind of feel if I don't, everyone's going to jump up and down.
He better not. He has to wear his jandals.
Really?
Really?
Oh, okay. I'm looking at his pink winter jandals right now. Undercard fights. This one's really exciting. We talk about Jerome Pampalone, the Panther, 16-0. It's a light heavyweight intercontinental title fight, probably the strongest intercontinental fight going around. It's 10-3. We're still trying to figure out the opponent. Is it Lovio? Is it Lovio? Lovio Cesani. Jerome, it's nice to have you back in the house. You are probably the most impressive boxer going around in the male ranks in this country right now. Where's your head at ahead of this fight?
I'm just excited, I'm just happy to be back on this card, sharing with the Peach team. But I know the fight in front of me, he's an undefeated fighter, like you said, tricky southpaw, so it's something new. He's bringing something new, and I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
It was mentioned in the bio that you've never fought an undefeated fighter before, so does that change the way you approach things?
I approach everything the same, train hard and train even harder, Each camp gets harder and harder, and I just got to keep focusing on my goal. And I know that big goal is right around the corner, but to get to that goal, I got to get through this opponent, and I'm looking forward to it.
Isaac, do you see any problems in this fight, and where is the challenge for Jerome?
It's a tough fight. I think this guy's an ex-Olympian. He's got big credentials. But that's what we're here for. Jerome's at the top now, so all the opponents are going to be hard. And I firmly believe Jerome's going to win the world title, and very shortly. I think he's the best fighter this side of the world, including everybody. I've got big raps on him.
Well, we've also got big raps on the young man sitting here, Zane Adams. It's a flyweight bout against Enrique Magasala, and he is out of the Philippines. Welcome to the big show. But to be fair, Zane, how are you feeling about this one? 2-0, early in your career.
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm grateful to be on another world title. I fought on Lani's world title card maybe a few weeks ago, and I think it's just I'm really grateful to fight on another world title, fight alongside Mea, fight alongside Jerome. I've been training with him for about almost a year now, and now getting to fight with him is a pretty good experience.
So, in many ways, you're the new kid on the block here. Can you just give us a little bit of background of who you are, where you've come from, just briefly for the folks out there?
I was born in South Africa. I moved here when I was about 10. Started fighting since I was maybe about 7 years old. Not boxing, martial arts, karate, kickboxing, bit of wrestling. But boxing's always been around in my family since I was young, so it's always been there. And I think when I was about 14, 15, I started putting more time into boxing and then kind of stopped in and out. Spent a lot of time training, spent a lot of time out of training, and now finally, like with 2 feet in boxing and committed to boxing now, it's kind of paying off, and yeah.
There's big raps in you, but there's always big raps about the peach boxing style of training. How tough is it?
It's tough, but it's like a good tough. Like you wouldn't want to do it anywhere else. I trained at a few gyms before this, good gyms, but there's not quite the push and the motivation within the teams. So being around fighters like Jerome, Mea, Andre, and everybody else, we all kind of have the same goal, and that's pretty much to the top. And just being in that environment obviously shapes you as a fighter and as a person, and when it comes to like pushing and working hard. Yeah.
Just briefly, this will be the last question, and then you can ask questions from the floor. How did you find him? I know he says I heard the story that you threw him into the ring with Mea before her first title fight, and you suddenly realised, we've got something special, another special here.
Yeah, no, Zane was actually training another gym, and I took Mea for sparring with him. And I seen something in him, and he actually lives a couple of streets away. So Zane came down. I gave him 1 amateur fight and turned him pro. So, yeah, I saw something pretty special, and I think he is the next big thing. I think he's very similar to Jerome. He picks up stuff very quickly, and I think Zane's going to go all the way.
If there was one thing or one asset that he has in his arse, or to describe how excited you are, what would that be?
The way he picks up stuff and learns so quickly, and if you tell him to do something, it's just done. And he gets better weekly. A lot of guys take a while, like they plateau and then get a little bit better. Zane just continually gets better. So yeah, I'm super excited.
All right, questions from the floor, please. Just put your hand up and away you go.
Do one-on-ones.
Oh,
What we'll do, guys, go to one-on-ones rather than questions from the floor. Just quickly, one thing we didn't mention, this is my fault. All 3 of our opponents, Lani's, Mea, and Jerome down there, are all domiciled in South Africa, strangely enough. And we happen to be sitting in the home of South Africa over in the North Shore Events Centre, or at least Eventfinda Stadium.
Little Johannesburg.
So, Little Johannesburg, I'm told it is. So it's going to be an interesting build-up, and bringing these guys out of South Africa. We've got full international card. So, like I said, we're in a golden era of New Zealand boxing, being spearheaded by 2 amazing females and some guys on the undercard who are truly stunning. So this will be, in my opinion, one of the best cards we've ever put together. Now, I've been involved in some amazing fights in New Zealand. You know, Andy Ruiz versus Joe Parker, Dave Tua versus Shane Cameron, and they were incredible fights, but they didn't have the depth that this card has. So I implore you to get along, and we're about to see some amazing things from some amazing people. And a lot of it's emanating out of West Auckland, whether it be out at New Lynn with John Conway, or indeed out in Coulter Road with the Peach Boxing Gym. He's got something of unbelievable excellence going on that I think is going to dominate world boxing. And to say all of these people come out of pretty much Auckland and West Auckland and North Auckland, that's a hell of a statement when you're taking on the world. So kudos to you guys, and thank you for the media for turning up. And please, let's go to one-on-ones, and you can get what you want from the guys.
Yeah, and just a reminder, our thanks to Burger King, Te Whānau o Waiparera, the Manukau Urban Māori Authority. Tickets are on dnlevents.co.nz. It is July the 26th on the North Shore's Eventfinda Stadium. So, by all means, it's pretty casual. A lot of you will know the fighters. If you don't, just quietly rock up to them. And what? I said August 26th, Dana. Your hearing's going. August 26th at Eventfinda Stadium. So once again, thanks so much, and feel free to talk to our fighters and Dino if you can stop them. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Cheers.